Alrighty, so today we are actually going to be, this is actually a little bit of almost an update video, which I'm not sure how many of you guys saw the previous video where we talked about this young lady, but this is a video where we're going to be talking about Stella Williams, who she made a video, I think it was in like November, it was sometime last year, where she was kind of talking about how she wanted to start losing weight because she had some issues that were related to her weight loss, but then she was kind of worried about sharing those thoughts because she was afraid because a lot of her persona online was being a plus size person and you know, it was a whole thing. And so she actually recently made a video where, I mean, you guys will see right here. The title of it is My Secret Weight Loss. And then I'm assuming, I watched a little bit of this where she kind of revisits that topic and talks a little bit more about it. So I think that it could be a really interesting, a really interesting topic. So without further ado, Stella, take it away.
It feels like my entire belief system is being challenged right now. Bitch, you're actually like, you're sick. Hi you guys, my name is Stella Williams and today I am going to be addressing my...
Okay, that dog is very cute. That dog is very cute. All right.
Weight loss. It's happening. I don't have a vlog channel anymore, which we will talk about in another video. And I did that for more so the purpose to be more transparent on my channel. Like I didn't like the idea. I was so authentic on my vlog channel of exactly who the fuck I am. And then on this channel, I was just polished, pretty Stella, and that's not always who I am. Obviously, if you watched any of the 8 months I had the vlog channel, you know that. This is my attempt to be more transparent with you guys just because this is where a lot of my people from the vlog channel came from. I want to have more content on this channel and not feel the pressure of it needing to be perfect all the time because I'm not perfect and I've been through some crazy stuff online.
Well, I mean, this obviously has nothing to do with the weight loss, but this is something that's true with a lot of people. And I wish more people would talk about this. I feel like I bring it up quite a bit, especially if you're here with the streams. I like talk about how I'm definitely not perfect and I have my issues. But with like influencers, a lot of people are afraid to talk about the bad. Now, one thing I do want to bring up, and I feel like this is something that I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me about. A lot of people that might be my contemporaries or whatever. I definitely feel bad for anyone. This is men and women, but sadly it definitely affects women more. For any overweight woman online, because if they talk about anything related to their health at all, everyone is going to say, well, you just need to lose weight. And that isn't helpful. You know? And so I definitely feel bad. I don't want to say feel bad. It's not like I have pity, but like I definitely can understand feeling scared or afraid or apprehensive to speak up about any medical issue, regardless of if you're health at every size or not, right? Regardless of that, because you're afraid there's just going to be a bunch of people being like, well, you just need to lose weight. It's just like, dude, how is that helpful, man? Okay.
Because that's really who I am. Like, I'm really someone who likes to probably overshare. In reality, I do like to share my life because it does help a lot of people. Today, I just wanted to explain a little bit about why I looked so much smaller in my last video. I didn't notice it myself. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but whenever I go through, well, let's just say weight loss, let's just call it what it is. Always see it in other people more than I see it in myself at first. So I can look at the number on the scale, you know, I can know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. But like for me to see it first is like never gonna happen.
Hey, it's just Stella from editing. This sounds a lot like body dysmorphia. I'm gonna take this to my therapist. Bye.
So
yeah, I think, well, honestly, I don't want to diagnose anyone with anything, but I think for a lot of people, losing weight, seeing it in yourself, it does take a while. Like for me, this is a question I get a lot, is like, when did you first start noticing that you've lost weight? And for me, it took about like 50, 60 pounds, because I was, you know, close to 400. It took a lot of weight for me to actually notice it. It depends on the person, right? If you have a lot more weight to lose, you can probably lose a good amount before you ever notice it. But if you're only losing, you know, 20 pounds, every 5 pounds is going to be really noticeable. So it really kind of depends, but I thought that was funny that you brought that up.
Oh, anywho, I did this Boohoo haul, not even thinking about it. I think I filmed the Boohoo haul like last week, but I didn't upload it until yesterday. So it's been about a week. I uploaded the Boohoo haul a week after I shot it. And so I didn't think anything of it. I kept getting comments like, Stella, you've lost so much weight. You look good. If you haven't seen my video yet, when I even like announced I was starting to lose weight, that was in September. I think it was September. It's called To the Plus Size Community. And it was kind of like my break and opportunity to kind of like find myself outside of being identified as a plus size woman. And as you guys know, the channel's exploded since then. I kind of left all my plus size titles because that's not just who I am. I've always been expressive about saying, hey, I'm more than being plus size, but actually like following through and trusting that I am someone outside of my body was like a really big step. And so since September, that's what I've been doing. And
so this is a really interesting point that she makes, because this is something that's hard to do regardless of what you're doing online. Like, to relate it to myself, right? I'm a weight loss influencer, content creator, right? So it's really hard to step out of that place. And so I totally understand the struggle here, like trying not to be just a plus size creator. You're just trying to be a creator. It's one of those things that it's a lot easier said than done, because if you no longer, use that to your advantage, right, you might make content that people just don't want to watch from you, which kind of hurts and it kind of sucks, but like, you have to take that step if you no longer want to be seen as just, the weight loss guy or the plus size girl, plus size woman. Like, it's a thing that it's a hard step to take.
And I've been like owning the woman I am and finding out who she is outside of being identified as my body, and really getting comfortable with like the core of myself opposed to what I just look like whenever I'm rambling. So in that video, I talked about a possible diagnosis I was having. This is why I miss vlogging, because it's just no structure and you just kind of just talk and take what you need, leave the rest. There's like a lot of change happening. I am adjusting to it. I think because things happen, I kind of like put them on the back burner and then don't really address them, and it builds up. My health went from like nothing's wrong to shit is hitting the fan. It was a lot for me to like grasp, and it didn't really hit me until December. And I think why it hit me in December is because it had been a year since I got a blood clot from my birth control. If you're on birth control, be careful. Oral contraceptives, this shit's real. It didn't hit me because I was managing it. So I'm one of those people, like, if something's going wrong or if something's not right, I don't really like dwell on it or think about it. I just like, what are we gonna do to fix it? Because of that, I don't think I internalized like, bitch, you're actually like, you're sick. Like, this is a lifelong illness. And it hit me in December that it was. And so I kind of took a step back from my channel, and I was in a space of like coming to terms with a lot of things. So all of what happened in the last year, if you need a brief catch up, if you don't want to watch the other video, that's fine. I would appreciate if you do at least like and subscribe to this video because it helps me. Thank you. It all started.
So this stuff is really hard. And again, like I was saying before, it's a really hard position. And I don't think that she was ever like really like fully like really, really deep into like the health at every size kind of like thing. I don't think that she was. I could be wrong, but I don't think that she was. But I've said this before. Like, imagine if you are, right? I hate to use this example, but it's the most popular person that's kind of, that people understand. So if you're like Tess Holiday, right? Imagine if for years you have said like, I am healthy regardless of my size over and over and over again. And then something starts happening, right? And losing weight will help that thing. Whatever it is. I don't even need to put a name on it, right? Will help that issue. What do you do? What do you do? Do you tell everyone, hey, I need to lose weight now? You definitely can. And I'm sure like actually a lot of people will probably support you. But there's going to be some people that don't. And so I've thought about being in that position, and dude, that terrifies me. Like, it terrifies me. I can't imagine being there. And so this is something that I've thought a lot about this, man. And so it's not, I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't want to sit here and say like, oh, I would do this. This is what you should do. I don't know what I would do. I would be terrified. I would be terrified because something is going wrong with me. I'd be terrified because I want to lose weight and people are going to notice it if I actually do. And then I'd be terrified of losing the platform that I've spent years building. It'd be hard. It'd be hard.
With the blood clot. So I was taking a birth control. I take this birth control to control the bleeding from a blood clot I didn't know I had. And that literally in 21 days gave me a new blood clot in my leg. And that one I was able to detect, and it showed up on a scan thing. It was crazy. That's really what That's really what I was dealing with last year, was just, oh shit, I could have died at any point in those 9 months. And I didn't have any mental capacity to accept new things that were coming from the pinpoint of this blood clot from birth control. So since then, antiphospholipid antibodies that were found in my body, which is on the spectrum of lupus. Now it is at the low end of the spectrum, like the base, because I don't actually have, no, Birkin, don't eat my brush. I don't have antiphospholipid syndrome, which is a really big blessing, but I do have the antibodies. And per my hematologist, it can progress, it can get worse. And you know,
I'm not laughing at her, the dog. I'm sorry. Okay, I have ADD. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
The late stages of it being bad, it can be lupus. We talked about this before, and I know we have. I'm just catching people up because a lot of people are new to the channel. I also uncovered food allergies I didn't know I had to wheat, milk, hazelnuts, almonds, peanuts. In my best interest, I'm allergic to so much stuff, I might as well go vegan because then I can't have any of that. That backfired. So back in November, I actually, I'm fully vegan at this point. I think I'm killing it. I stopped weighing myself. It's after I put out that video. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. The month's over. I'm like, okay.
Dude, oh man. I feel so, I feel for this woman. Okay, I don't want to say I feel bad because it's not like I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for you. Do your thing. But oh, dude, this is why, I share quite a bit online, but there's a lot that I don't. Because I don't want to deal with the I told you so army coming after me and telling me, told you so about this thing. This is another thing that I was talking about with the whole health at every size. Another reason people probably don't announce that they're losing weight or that they have issues is because the I told you so army is gonna come out of the woodworks and be like, I told you were unhealthy. It's not helpful, bro. And so dude, veganism online is a whole thing. And so announcing that you're doing it and then announcing that you're not doing it, holy smokes, dude. That's again, not a position I ever want to be in. I honestly think if I ever went vegan, I don't think I'd tell anyone. I would keep it to myself. That's something that I think would be you know what? That's for me and me alone. I'm not sharing it with anyone because I just don't want to deal with it. Because if I end up not doing it anymore, I don't want to deal with the backlash.
I'm gonna do my monthly weigh-in. I had gained 20 pounds in less than a month. When I had my vlog channel, I posted on there, I'm like, guys, I'm freaking out. There's no way I could have gained 20 pounds. I've been completely plant-based. I've been, managing what I eat. There's no way this is real. And people were like, check your vitamin D levels. Maybe you have PCOS. And I know we talked a little bit about me maybe having that. And so I went to the gynecologist. I told her everything. I told her in the whole year of what happened. Tested positive for PCOS. Also, a vitamin D deficiency. One of my subscribers actually said, hey, you said you've been feeling depressed and really tired. I was in bed for I think 3 days, which wasn't like me because when I do struggle with depression, but when I do, I'm in therapy and it's pretty well managed. If I'm struggling with my depression, I know, hey, at the end of the week, my therapist will kind of help me snap back. I don't know if that's politically correct, but kind of snap back from it. But this didn't feel like how I mentally feel when I'm struggling with my depression. I felt depressed, but it didn't feel like depression of my own terms. So it was a weird feeling. Had a vitamin D deficiency. That's handled. So then PCOS, vitamin D deficiency, and then the biggest one that I was really worried about was this cardiovascular issue that I potentially have. I was supposed to get retested for this December. I didn't end up getting retested for it until last week. And my levels came in and they still seemed a little bit high, but the good news is nothing that I needed this medication for immediately, which is kind of a super big blessing. My doctor had told me in September when I made the last video, I had just gotten off the phone with him, that, hey, if you don't get this level down, we're gonna need to put you on some vitamin B something. He said, luckily, most people who struggle with this cardio whatever reduce it with weight loss. This was the first time throughout my whole year I had heard, hey, this isn't hereditary, this isn't a fluke, this is more than likely because of your weight. And I struggled with that very openly on the internet, but I did struggle with that because I felt like this is the first time it wasn't a argument between how I feel about something in my life. It was like, no, literally, like, there's no choice here. It's your life. And for someone from
So this is like where things can get difficult, right? Because this is where there are a lot of people that might disagree with what the doctor said and be like, they're just being fat phobic and they're just telling you that you need to lose weight because they think all like weight is what's killing everyone in the world. And so this is where it's hard, this is where I struggle, because I do understand where a lot of like the health at every size movement is like working on is getting better care for some overweight individuals, which I think is a good thing. But at the same time, like there does come a time where it's like, okay, we can be as nice as we want or as like understanding as we want and look in as many areas as we can that don't relate to your weight. But at some point, like you do have to look down that path, right? You do have to explore down that road, because I don't care who you are. I don't think there would be anyone that would ever make the argument that losing weight doesn't help some things, right? Like if you sit there and make the argument that it doesn't help anything at all, I think you're being disingenuous, and I wouldn't have a real conversation with you, right? So like I think most people that are with health at every size would agree that there are some things that losing weight can definitely help. Is it everything? No. But this is where it gets muddy, right? This is where it gets really, really difficult.
From a body positive stance and from where I come from, it was very difficult to hear you need to lose weight. That really started this movement of where I am right now and this like transformation I'm going through. I ask that you guys be a little kind with me and bear with me, because I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm still trying to figure out myself outside of, what I've built on the internet, outside of my weight, learning about me as Stella, the good, the bad, and ugly, so I can clean what I need to clean or keep what I want to keep. I know we're all in this process to like grow and learn or whatever. Brooklyn, I'm okay. You want to cuddle? I'm okay. I'm just asking for a little bit of compassion, because this is very scary for me. I have this like self-sabotage thing that I'm working through. I don't really like change. I like the
Hey man, a lot of us got that self-sabotage issue, I'll tell you that much.
idea of change. I like the idea of growth and, moving toward a goal, but to actually have that happen scares the living shit out of me. With weight loss, it's one of those things that whether or not you want to address it, you're eventually going to see it. That's what happened yesterday. In reality, I know the weight loss is the goal. The weight loss is the goal, to not, have these cardio issues. So he didn't put me on this medication, which was great, but he needs to see me for a checkup really soon. I'm continuing the weight loss and this program, and yesterday I had a moment because you could see it. I mean, obviously I'm a YouTuber. You guys see me fluctuate up and down all the time. Like, to know that something's like happening and then someone else can notice makes me feel very uncomfortable, because I feel very exposed, if that makes any sense. It's like I'm privately working on my health and doing my thing. Privately is a very loose term. I mean, I'm on Instagram. I started doing group training. I'm open in that sense, but to like people see the changes and comment them to me is where I get so uncomfortable still. Like, I'm not there yet to be able to hear it, because I struggled and I struggled for years with the idea that you look so much better and you look great. Like, I already looked great and I already looked good. So those are things I'm still struggling. I am on a public platform. And
this is really interesting, because for me, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I totally understand. I think I can understand what she's saying, but I'm not going to sit here and say I understand how you feel, because I never felt that way, right? Like, for me, losing the weight, like, I didn't love how I looked. And I didn't hate myself, but I felt I will look better when I lose the weight. I know that might be controversial to some people, but it's how I felt. And so when I started losing the weight, I was like, I think I look better now. For me personally, okay? For me personally. And so that's the lens that I look through at things through. And so the fact that she is on like the opposite side of the spectrum, like she is seeing people that are saying, oh, you've lost weight, you look great. And for her, it's not that great of a compliment. It's just very interesting. Because again, for me, when someone gave me that compliment, I can't explain to you how good it made me feel and how valid it made the hard work that I was putting in, because losing weight is freaking hard, So it validated for me. Like, I wasn't just doing it for that, obviously, but like it was like a outside validation that, hey, this work that I'm putting in is showing to other people, and that made me feel good.
And I can't fault people for saying those things, right? Because in their head, they may see that as congratulatory. But to me, it's like a slap in the face. Like, well, what did you think about me before? Because I've always owned this confidence and I've always owned my sexy. So what were you thinking when I was 300 plus pounds? And what are you thinking about me right now? And like, why is this in your eyes sexier or prettier or better in a non-health way? Why is this aesthetically better for you? And why can't someone of this higher weight be as sexy and as beautiful? And so I'm struggling a lot with this. And I think that's why I haven't been updating you guys. I know that in September, that was the last time I did that, however many months ago that was. Because I do have strong feelings and my feelings are clashing because now it's like feeling.
I think I'm not going to sit here and say I have the answer for that, but I think that a big one is just people, like when you lose weight, for most people, it looks like, and again, I know this is controversial, but it looks like you are getting healthier and you are getting, you are working in a way. I think it's subconscious too. Like people don't even think about it, right? Because I don't know, it's just so interesting because I never had that thought of like, oh, you didn't think I was good looking before. Or like, I was just like, oh yeah, you think I look great. Cool. Thank you. I'm working on it. You know? So again, like I've just never been down. I've never thought that way. But I think that it's people, one, it's not like they're trying to say you looked bad before and you look better now. It's more just, I'm noticing the hard work and this is me saying, I noticed the hard work. I think you look great. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong on that one.
Versus reality, they're clashing. And I'm struggling with this. And I'm just being real and honest here. I'm very much struggling with this. So the actual weight loss. I decided in the top of 2021 to stop trying to do shit myself because it's not working. I had tried so many fad diets last year. Some very successful. Didn't gain back. I didn't gain my weight back actually last year until the month and a half I went plant-based. And I would like to say it's not that it was me being plant-based that caused the issue. The issue is I was intaking a lot of fruits. I was having those acai bowls every morning. Like the issue was that is I didn't know I had like PCOS, and with PCOS there's insulin resistance, and that's what was holding on to all of my weight and making me actually gain weight. So 2021 I told myself stop trying to do everything else.
I mean, Freely would have just said eat more bananas and you'll be good, but I don't know. I'm just saying.
And just try to do this like a doctor's way. So what kind of encouraged this is in January, I did a reading with my mom. My mom is a psychic, I guess. She's an intuitive medium. And she read my tarot cards on this channel. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. And I know a lot of people are not into it, but it's something that my family and I do. So it's something I enjoy and I trust. We're doing a reading about my health and my love life. And she was saying that my health's going to be fine, but you know, the Seven of Swords is what I got for the future, and that you will be okay, but after the effort. And one of the things that was brought up is weight loss. And I at the time hadn't talked to my mom about weight loss surgery because she has strong feelings for it and I have strong feelings against it. So things kind of shifted for me in December. In the middle of December, I had a visit with my gynecologist, and that's where she diagnosed me with PCOS. People manage their PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, with weight loss. One of the driving forces for me is that I do want children one day. I'm very open about this. It's not that I need to be a lighter weight to have children. It's the fact with PCOS, infertility can be an issue. And that scared me. That was like enough for me to be like, okay, it's no longer about me. It's like about my future child. So it shifted my perspective. And
this is one thing that, oh, dude, like as a man, it's one thing that, holy smokes, women have it so much harder in this aspect of like the amount of issues you have from your weight. There's just a lot more that goes on there. Like for a dude, you could be freaking 600 pounds and still make a baby happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't got no issues. But for women, like that truly becomes an issue, not just like being able to get pregnant, but then being able to carry that through healthily without complications to you or the baby. Like, oh, dude, it's just, oh, man.
And for the last month and a half, I've been like, this isn't a game. This isn't some YouTube journey. This is like your actual life and like the possibility of you having a child in the future. This is where things get real for me, because in our conversation she was like, hey, have you considered weight loss surgery? Just straight up. For me, weight loss surgery is like, it's always been a no, because I never considered it. Like I just have strong feelings about weight loss surgery from what I thought it was to based on what I know it is now, more of like a tool in your tool belt opposed to like the end all be all solution to weight problems, right? Then after my reading, I was definitely like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna try to go that route and see what happens. I've been making changes recently in my life to accommodate for actual weight loss. I think the whole children thing is really what got under my skin and was really like, okay, you're gonna have to make some changes. So I started training with a personal trainer in group training sessions 4 days a week. I am meeting with a dietitian on March 2nd to get an actual food plan because I know low carb means keto, and my issues with fad diets and foods, I'm scared to do that unsupervised, and I need to stay anti-inflammatory as possible, which brings us to my biggest issue that's possibly happening right now in my life.
Well, I mean, technically keto, low carb doesn't always equal keto. I mean, it can, and a lot of times it does, but it doesn't. It's not technically the same thing. They can be used interchangeably, but
I have higher than normal white blood count cells, or white cell blood count. That essentially means that my body is fighting an infection and we just don't know where. And my levels were high in December. My levels were high last week when I got tested. My hematologist is the only one that gave me a little bit of hope. He said with PCOS, that's probably why they're elevated, but I am required to get checkups for my other doctors and to see what's really going on there. Say all this to say this is real life stuff and it's very, very, very scary. And I've kind of taken...
Dude, this is just like, shout out to this woman, because holy crap. I cannot imagine. I just can't imagine like the anxiety you would feel, like, because, you know, I film videos and I know how it feels when you're like gonna film one that's kind of like heavy for you, the feeling right before you film it, like how she must have been feeling getting ready, right, putting on the makeup and like doing her hair and getting ready to film this video, setting up the tripod, setting up the lighting and all this stuff, like knowing that you're going to be sharing this information. Dude, that's hard stuff. Like, that's hard stuff.
Myself outside of myself and been like, this doesn't have to be your life. Because last year I felt so... I really wish you guys would go watch my reading with my mom. I felt so defeated. I felt really hopeless. I was like, there's literally no point in me even trying because, like, I'm a lost cause. I'm avoiding something that's actually happening instead of kind of facing it head on and owning the situation as it is. And so I was really, really triggered when I read the weight loss comments yesterday, because in my head, I know I'm doing everything right. Even though I'm not talking about what's happening, I can't run from it, because now when people are watching a try-on haul of me, they're seeing it. It's a lot to handle, to say the least. Thank God I have therapy in the morning, every Friday like clockwork. Thank you, therapist. That's just really what's going on with me and my weight loss. It's happening. Last week, I think the biggest thing happened, and that is I did get my referral for weight loss surgery. My doctor is recommending a sleeve, and we've kind of narrowed it down to VSG. I am considering it. I still have a lot of emotional issues of why I do not want to go through with it. But in reality, I am in therapy working through that. Like, I've been a big girl.
I think, like, oh, dude, this is crazy. To relate it to myself, because you guys know I'm full of myself. I remember when I've told this story before. When I was in 10th grade, I almost got a lap band, which is like it's not as intense as most of the weight loss surgeries because it's very non-invasive and you can remove it. But I almost got it. But I was kind of in the same place that it seems like she is right now, where I had conversations with the doctor, and they were asking me like, how like sure are you that you want to get this? And I was like, I'm like 80% sure that I want to do it. And they're like, that's perfect. Because like they didn't want people that were like 100% like, I need to do this. This is the only option I have. Because like most of the time it's not, right? Like you can lose weight, especially because I was so young. I was in 10th grade. But like they basically were saying like you should explore every option before you go down this road. And that's what I've said before with weight loss surgery, right? So I think that where her head is in a good place, where it's not like I need to get the surgery and that's the only way I can lose weight. It's instead like I want to try everything before I try having surgery, because any surgery is a big deal, right? But that's a really, really, really interesting.
My entire life, I have no idea what it's like to be smaller at all, and it's scary. So I made a promise to myself to be more open about it on this channel, because I brought you guys into it to begin with in September and then just kind of left everyone hanging. It feels like my entire belief system is being challenged right now, and I can't think of anything scarier. Hope you guys go on the journey with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a way more fun video. Love and light, Stella. Bye. It feels
Well, that was a really intense one. I hope that she she figures everything out and that she gets in a good place now. I would love for you guys to go over there and give her some love and let her know that you guys are, rooting for her and you guys are here for her. Normally I don't do that in these videos because I don't want people to, say anything mean, but I highly would recommend you guys go over to her channel and show her some love.